Guys, you have no idea. It was amazing, even for New Orleans. I was in my French Quarter office at the time, and there were elephants, many of them, walking down the French Quarter. It was crazy.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Tourism Tea Social Cast. Today we're deep diving into guerrilla marketing, and if you don't know what that is, you need to pay attention because we're about to spill the tea. Guerrilla marketing is a way to reach potential customers with surprising and innovative ways. So Marika, what's the tea about these elephants?
Okay, so the elephants, it was about 10 years ago, I think, and I was working in the French Quarter, and as I had mentioned, and everybody was running to the windows and running to the balconies to see what was going on, which is normal for the French Quarter because we do have second lines and we have parades, but we look forward to those things. It kind of break things up in our wonderful cultural environment. So today, on this particular day, we saw elephants, and that was actually pretty crazy because number one, you don't normally see huge animals in our tiny little city. And number two, you don't ever see elephants just walking down the street anyway, let alone in a crazy, very tourist dense, populated environment. So we ran and it was fun. And when we saw it, it turned out to be a parade for the Ringling Brothers, which was a circus that was in the area at the time. They had visited New Orleans and they were going to have a show coming up. And this was something that they did to gain buzz and attention in efforts to have people buy seats to their show. And I thought it was actually pretty amazing in terms of gathering attention because you'd think in New Orleans, especially, we're used to parades, but it still got a lot of buzz. It got a lot of news coverage. It was something that was spectacular and stood out. And it made people pay attention. And that is the essence of guerrilla marketing, and the essence of event marketing and tourism marketing in general, because what we do is we sell experiences. So to gain buzz about those is really, really something you need to pay attention to because you need to have someone feel excitement and emotion and connect with your brand. And what better way than to get right up in front of them and to make them do it?
And years later, here we are still talking about those elephants walking down the street. So it worked.
Right.
And you always talk about how important it is to market to the people that are in town now, because they're probably going to buy tickets that day for something that they're going to do. So what better way to really target people that are in town now for that show?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Its timeliness is definitely a factor.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's also other ways you can do it. I remember working with a client a while ago, a carriage tour client. You probably remember this. Mm-hmm. They were looking into doing ads on the tops of their carriages because when you look down, what other things do you see aside from people and cars as the tops of carriages? And this also speaks into local marketing as well, Nancy, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Back in 2018, 2019, when I was a Von Mack client, I attended a tourism convention, and there you were with your tourism pins. You really ambushed that event like you always do, and it was super popular. So at these events, to get people to go to your booth is quite a task, and to get people to share your event or share whatever you are doing is quite a challenge as well. And you were handing out these cute little tourism love pins, which later eventually went to the Tourism Strong campaign, but they started at that convention. And you had two different types. You had the tourism love pins, and then you had your naughty tourism as fuck pins.
I did.
And so at that time, the convention had this hashtag challenge. If you took pictures and posted the hashtag, you were entered to win a gift card. You also had the same sort of hashtag challenge attached to your tourism pins. And all of a sudden, you just saw tons of selfies with people with those pins all over the mega boards and the website. And it was huge. And a lot of people started asking one another, where did you get that pin? And everybody started saying, the Von Mack booth. It's over there. She's got those pins. And people went to get either the heart pin or the naughty pin.
The illicit
Of course,
pin.
I had both. And I loved that. And everybody loved that.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely something that, was strategized beforehand to get people to come to our booth. And we know in tourism, we go to a lot of those conventions, and what you want is to have someone come to your booth. And once they're there, you can sell them, but you have to get them there, and they're going to all of the booths, and basically all they usually want is free stuff. So I thought, why don't we come up with something that people actually want? And these, nice little lapel pins were a way to show your love for tourism. And it was a tchotchke, and it was custom made. And if you took a picture with it and you tagged Von Mack, you were also entered to win a gift card for $500 for from Southwest. So that's something else that people would actually want. They want to fly. We're in travel. Mm-hmm. So it just so happened that, as you had mentioned, the governor or the lieutenant governor had his own challenge where you would use a hashtag. But what people were doing, and it turned out great, was that, they were posting with the hashtag with a picture tagging Von Mack with my pin. So we got all these followers, and we took over feeds in LinkedIn and in Facebook and in Instagram. And then people started asking me for the pins after the event, when I would go to other events. And then, as you mentioned, with the Tourism Strong, coalition, we started sending those out and mailing those out and using those as a way to keep people attuned with their love of tourism. But that in itself is an unconventional way to gain attention with a very inherent strategy. And that is something that people can take advantage of at a very low cost and be very creative with, and can gain a lot of attention right now with people locally and to get feet in the door. So yeah, we are the Tourism Tea.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Nancy.
And I'm Merica. Stay tuned for our next social cast and catch us on Clubhouse, on Facebook, on Instagram, and LinkedIn, where you can follow along and hear our stories.